Not only are Disney and Lucasfilm focusing on Star Wars Episode 9 and The Mandalorian, but also the new Star Wars trilogy, also known as the fourth Star Wars trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I will say that's one thing that a lot of Star Wars fans are really looking forward to seeing is, of course, exactly what this fourth trilogy is going to hold for the future of the Star Wars franchise and exactly where Disney and Lucasfilm are taking us after Episode 9. Now, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm have this big plan of taking Star Wars in a totally different direction after Episode 9, and this all has to do with, of course, the new Star Wars trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones. Now, what's really exciting about this new trilogy is that it's described that the fourth Star Wars trilogy will be revealed on April 11th at Star Wars Celebration. It's described that Disney plans to introduce the general idea of the films and the time period it will be based in. It's also described that Disney plans to unveil the first director of the first movie at Star Wars Celebration. The big plan for this trilogy is to only use experienced directors. It's said that concept art has been done for the new trilogy and will be revealed at Celebration. However, it's unclear if this will be exclusive to the audience or if it will be shown during the live stream. So, like I say, Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019, it's gonna be a big event. We're getting a first look at Episode 9 with the teaser trailer, as well as first footage of Star Wars The Mandalorian, while we're actually gonna also be learning more about the third live-action TV series and the new Star Wars trilogy. Now, about the third live-action TV series, real quick, I believe that that's going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and Ewan McGregor's gonna make a big surprise on the stage, really making the audience go crazy. That's my prediction right there. Now, as for the new Star Wars trilogy, what's really exciting is that, yes, we will be learning a whole lot more about it on April 11th, alright, for the very first day of Star Wars Celebration, and that it's described that Disney plans to introduce the general idea of these films and the timeline that it will be based in. So on that day, we're finally going to learn on whether or not this new trilogy is going to be based within the Old Republic or not. You guys actually may have heard this a couple of days ago, that the new Star Wars trilogy by the Game of Thrones guys is actually going to be deeply inspired by Legends material and a specific Legends timeline. So I'm really starting to wonder on whether or not it is the Old Republic or something to do with the Yuzong Vong or something around those lines. You know, there's so many possibilities of what Disney and Lucasfilm could really do in this movie that's going to make fans go wild. I mean, there's no other way to say it, but I think that this new trilogy does have a lot of potential because Bob Iger did say that it's going to be based within the Star Wars mythology. Now, not only that, Disney and Lucasfilm plan on unveiling the first director of the first movie of this trilogy at Star Wars Celebration. So like I say, they plan to only hire experienced directors. We're talking about people like James Cameron. We're talking about people like Steven Spielberg or Christopher Nolan. I'm talking about directors that are huge, that are very well known within Hollywood and to movie buffs around the world. So with that being said, you know, we do know that this actual trilogy has a lot going for it as well, because this really does all depend on the success of Episode 9. It really does. You know, we also know that Disney and Lucasfilm are using this trilogy as their priority over Rian Johnson's trilogy, which honestly is good news in my own opinion. Now, the next thing I do want to go over is how concept art has actually been developed and will be shown at Star Wars Celebration of the new trilogy, of the fourth trilogy. Now, the biggest question is, will it be shown during the actual live stream, or is this going to be a private thing where people are going to have to put their phones away and we actually won't be able to get an actual look? The good news is this, is that regardless, we're going to learn about that concept art through people if they do see it in private, or if it will be shown during the live stream, we will be able to see it. It kind of reminds me of what they did with Rogue One, a Star Wars story. You guys may recall that they had a private teaser trailer, or a little tease of a teaser, where you heard Obi-Wan Kenobi talking about the Dark Times and the Empire. Do you guys remember that? It was a big thing at Star Wars Celebration. They got like a little sneak peek, I believe, at Rogue One, and they also got a little glimpse of some concept art of some actual like rebel fighters. departing a certain ship with guns in their hands going into war. So they're doing something similar in a sense with the new Star Wars trilogy. I'm just hoping that, you know, we will be learning about the 2 other directors attached to the other 2 movies. That should be pretty interesting for sure. So anyways, guys, what do you think about the 4th trilogy? Do you think it's going to be the Old Republic, or something to do with the Yuuzhan Vong, or something else entirely that's attached to Legends material? Again, that's Disney and Lucasfilm's big plan with this new trilogy, is that a lot of Legends content, a lot of EU content will be embedded into these 3 big movies. You know, you can only imagine, if it is to be the Old Republic, the potential. They could have Darth Revan, they could have Malgus, they could have Cyan. I mean, so many Sith Lords can actually be explored under the Disney canon in this new trilogy. Now, regardless, guys, I'm very excited about the guys from Game of Thrones handling Star Wars because, you know, looking at the Game of Thrones series, it is high quality stuff, and you can only imagine what they're going to do with this big franchise. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.